Greetings, I am Lies.
And I am Scandal.
And
let's play a game together. All
it's
right.
time to dance, as the hat says. No,
Yeah, it's time to dance, baby.
I think she wants to advertise on the big screen. I think she wants to.
I think I do. No matter how amazingly tempting that $9 hot dog looks on the big screen, don't even think about it.
We think we know what he's feeling.
Yes, exactly. Exactly my point. Everyone is looking at it.
I wish they would have mentioned our flyers again. They made such a big point of the flyers, and I wanted them to play a part in this, or at least casually be, I'm handing them out everywhere. Mm-hmm. You know?
I know a way to sneak into the back area. All we have to do is break into the main communication center and upload the flyer Lies Maid into the rotation.
Whoa!
You want to do what? Shh, keep your voice down, Teo. Unless you want to get arrested for being an accomplice. Okay. It's a genius plan. Everyone at the Max will see our name in lights.
Okay, so problem with that plan that I would have. 1.
Okay.
Even if you get through and do it successfully, okay, you are breaking the law.
Yep.
You are also stealing advertising space, which is for sale. So if you get caught doing that, then they can charge you, not only for breaking into their space and stealing stuff, but also for the advertisement. But also, if it just shows up, they can go, hey, your arcade is advertising, someone needs to pay for it.
Or they could just penalize your arcade and you'd get thrown out. Like, that is another option.
They could also just kick you out of the convention, but the convention is, quote, almost over, but you could be banned from all future conventions.
That's the problem. I'm like, the risk there to me...
This sounds like a bad idea.
Everyone at the Max will see our name in lights.
Okay, so... yeah, that is a less than legal way of getting the word out, given that I haven't used any of these flyers I'm holding. But I have to admit, you've got me intrigued, and it'll definitely work, but, I don't know. If we can't consult Iris on this, I am not going for it.
Okay, also at the same time, though, too, is my friend, I think the implication really is supposed to be that we've been wandering around. That's why we were sitting down and trying to
Oh, I know,
damage.
and that we're supposed to be tired. I appreciate that. But again, since they've never established that we even handed out one flyer, it's hard to assume that we've been doing it the whole time.
Yeah.
So the establishing shot wasn't there, and we can assume it, but they've also never been mentioned of, I finished handing out all the flyers, I don't even have a single one left. Nothing. They've been dropped.
Yeah.
Trust me!
What about?
Of course, we need to go in disguise. I'm already nicely disguised, but Lies would need to switch into something way more distracting.
You mean I'd have to be the flamingo?
Why
more distracting, exactly?
To distract from your face, of course. What I'm trying to say is people will remember the costume, not the person wearing it.
You know?
Except that
I don't agree with that.
Could be dumb. Like, genuinely.
I love how Teo's just like, we're just discussing this plan to be illegal right here. Like, he just looks like flabbergasted the whole time. Like, really?
And also at the same time, too, so, there are cameras in these cons, and while they're not necessarily the best... like, they will come... They
will be able to, if the legal action is desired, to seek you out.
Granted, I am far more afraid of the surveillance state, I think, than some people are, simply because of the implications of the Patriot Act in regards to current modern-day, United Statesian, basically law. It's a little terrifying, even though technically the Patriot Act was actually, weirdly enough, removed recently. And I didn't even fucking know about it. Well, and it was wild, but yeah.
I don't keep up on politics, but I was going to say, if the con is disorganized, as many cons are because they're a big freaking event to run, and event running is challenging, and you break in and put it in the rotation, everyone could just be confused about it and not be able to deal with it until the convention's completely over, and then just go, it's one more thing on the plate that we don't know what to do with. It gets sent to billing, it gets sent to research, it gets sent to, this, and then they're like, look, it's 6 months down the road, who even fucking cares?
Right. And I don't know. I've got the perfect maid costume for you. It's from Melee Maidens, the same thing my costume's from.
If it's made for you, do you think it would fit me?
It's made.
I know.
For us.
I know, but I'm just like, if it fits her, we do not have that much chest at all based on our sprites.
I think the thing is they're supposed to be pretty generic, but that's as close as they could get. So
I know, but based on our generic theyness, we don't have the boobs she has.
Well, and that's totally fine. I would also say that sometimes I think it's interesting to actually see where they go, this is generic character territory. And I go, I noticed that your generic character territory doesn't tend to have a wide variety of body types. It tends to be actually kind of small.
Many theys that I have met have a lot of padding.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true. Aye.
Maid costume. You want to put me in a maid costume.
It'll be fun! And just the ticket for keeping people from recognizing you. But if you don't want to do it, that's fine. I suggest going to Teo instead and letting me take care of the advertising myself. It's cool. I can do it.
You're
totally up to you. Though I think you'd look super cute as a maid. Oh my god.
So, would that be a crossplay? Because maids are generally girls in these things?
Yeah, I think that would totally be a crossplay.
All right.
Like honestly, I love though that well, assuming that the they is a third gender at all, and Lies doesn't identify, say, as like a gender or something else that isn't qualified
based on the extremely limited gender discussion of this game, which is none, which is he, her, and they, or he, she, and they, if you will. We're assuming that they have a natural gender trinary because no one has to ask anybody's gender or anybody's pronouns or anything like that. And so there's a level of, there's got to be some kind of an indicator of what they is.
The value
and it is literally a third gender. There is no a gender other thing.
The value weirdly does seem to be a little bit indeterminate, and I am intrigued. And it's the thing we have talked about before, and I wish more games would actually engage with it more as a part of your world building.
Right, because how do people identify a they without asking?
Right? Or just identify what a he or a she looks like even on its own. You're making a lot of assumptions here.
I mean, again, if it's clearly visible and no one talks about it, there's got to be a visual marker for girl, boy, and them.
I actually, Teo is defensive here. He says, let's not forget about magical moon cuties. I'd suggest you come with me instead. Far safer.
Safer or not, I don't know that we're going to get magical moon cuties involved if I don't go with him, and she said she would do it by herself.
She did.
So as far as I can tell, which I assume this is, unfortunately, I assume this is some kind of a dating choice, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because I want it to be more of like a strategy choice for the arcade, which is what it should be, you know? Anyway, that
we came
magical
here to
moon
date.
cuties isn't definitely involved unless someone actually from the arcade gets involved. And so I would pursue that, especially since most of the arcade has been on the arcade itself. Additionally, the Magical Moon Cuties one, if she's a well-known indie designer, she'll promote her own game being there.
It's true.
So the promotion and the thing, cool idea, but also, do you have a digital file access to you? Because we have a digital file of that poster, but do you?
It's kind of a weird one. I was kind of like, you're going to do it on your own, but you don't even have... Okay, fine.
Maybe her AI also did that.
Maybe.
So I ganked it and sent it to the other one. All right. Both options are valid, honestly. Splashy advertising would certainly draw foot traffic, which will happen anyways, based on what Ashley said, even if getting up to it would be dodgy. Importantly, Iris could help us do it safely, without anyone noticing. So we do bring Iris into this.
Okay.
But we just told her not to break the law.
What? Yeah, I know. I'm like...
Safer than Ashley going off on her own to try this inadvisable stuff.
Stunt.
But a highly anticipated indie title might do the trick and result in far less jail time. But she's going off to do it anyways, even if you don't go. I don't think we would want to wear the maid outfit, though. Honestly, we've been shy and uncomfortable at public speaking and being really noticeable, and our dress style is very conservative. I don't think we would want to go with it because of that. Screw everything else.
Right?
So, all right.
I think... So it's kind of one of those things where I do enjoy this game, though I'm starting to detect some level of, while there's heavy topics in here, it's not quite gonna go as far as you and I think it should, or basically would imply itself to go. It's like, we'll go kind of dark for some of the stuff of like capitalism and trying to feed yourself and
a little bit
else.
serious, but
in
not
the
in
end,
any depth.
We're just here to date and have a good time, you know? Or make friends.
But again, we're not here to date in this one, so the game has a different feel to it. Anyway, I think we'll go with Teo, because Magical Moon Cuties was appealing.
All right.
Ashley, you got this. I don't think you need any help from me. honestly, I don't feel like getting carted off to jail today, and it's not on my scheduled agenda. Plus, I'm pretty sure Ashley can handle breaking and entering all by herself.
What would ever give you that impression? But fine, I will totally trust you for some reason.
I have no idea why we would think she would be good at that. It has not been mentioned.
Yes.
And yes, I do realize how wrong that sounds, even in my own head, but I just figure if you can cosplay, you can break the rules. I guess.
Wild, but sure.
All right. Bold, if true.
I doubt huge, if true.
That one.
Yes.
I bet you've seen plenty of heist anime. So much that you can sneak into a natural history museum and steal the world's biggest Fabergé egg in the middle of the day. I had no idea that's what that word looked like, but since egg was after it, I knew what it was.
Oh, yeah, that Fabergé.
Yeah.
My mom wanted a Fabergé. By the way, you want to talk about people who were super interested? My mom was like, oh my god, I'd love to have one. And the closest she ever got was owning a very expensive, basically, photography book detailing and showing off some of the most, like, amazingly famous Fabergé eggs. She desperately wanted one.
I see.
Huh. I got like 12 bobby pins holding this wig on.
So I can pick a lock. This is a lock picking thing.
Wig?
Apparently, even though it looks incredibly like her normal hair, she just put a wig over it.
Yeah, no kidding. I won't let you down.
Oh, what she might have done? Well, she might have done that thing where you kind of fake it to make it where you pull all your own hair down and you put on a short wig because their hair's supposed to be like because their hair will hold down better than yours, and then it's your own ponytail on the bottom, but it all matches.
Oh, okay.
So
I
sort
can
of
see
reverse extensions, if you will, to make it look like a mullet experience when you don't actually have one.
Okay, I could see that. Little strange, but I could see it.
I know you won't. And please, try to be careful. Ashley smiles wildly before prancing off into a crowd of arcade folk.
You can stop worrying, Liz. Ashley knows exactly what she's doing.
I assume you know because I don't know either of you very well.
That also sounds crazy. I'm like, Ashley knows how to block
I was gonna say, this is like, a definitely a new skill set we're introducing here.
Woo!
That's why I'm worried.
Fair enough. Well, shall we go see a lady about an indie game?
Excuse me, I can see a lady about a game. We shall.
All right. Well, that's fascinating. I'm like, that is a little mind-boggling.
That's
actually
a little wild.
Whoa.
As we left the pop-up and traveled deep into the halls of Max, people kept stopping us to say hello to Teo. I handed every one of them a flyer.
Every single one.
Everyone a flyer. I'm just holding a stack of flyers. Okay?
Take the flyers.
Here's a flyer. Oh, hello, flyer. That's Teo. Here's a flyer.
Excuse me. Crams in the mouth.
Them. Oh, hi. Gently just puts it between their teeth. Hop. Puts their hand out to shake his hand. Flyer lands in it.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Come to the place.
Come to this thing. You want to see him again? Come here. Hi. We're going to use him as the main attraction. That's what it is. Forget the games and everything else and all the contests. Go. Come and see Teo.
He's beautiful.
He's
Look
lovely.
at him.
He's glorious.
Look at him.
You were excited by that flash mob? Well, come to this. Come to Fun Don't Be Fun. We'd be happily on our merry little way and then get interrupted by a random person.
Oh, man, it's Teo! How you doing, man? Hey, great! Hey, but we are on our way to meet with someone. Let's catch up later.
I'm gonna excellently everywhere.
Yes.
All diplomatic.
Cool. Laters, man!
And this happened every couple of minutes.
Wow, consistently.
Yep, all the time. Walking through the convention floor was like walking through a field of landmines. They just keep showing up. Where instead of explosions, it was uncomfortable introductions to people I will probably never see again. You are not in the advertising spirit, Liz, because you know what? I will only see it Fun to be fun again.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know. Eventually, Teo leads me back to a section of the arcade games hidden behind all the major companies' booths, near where he held his dance flash mob. What they set up here is mostly reminiscent of the rest of Max. Arcade cabinets are closely lined up side by side, making several aisles for gamers to aimlessly wander down. I would have expected to be more used to pushing my way.
Yeah, more used to pushing my way.
I would have expected to be more used to pushing my way through throngs of crowds by now, but nope.
It really doesn't get easier, in my opinion.
Teo and I force our way through huddled masses of chittering conversations. As I look around at all the different arcade games that surround us, I noticed something's off.
There's also the fact, too, why it never gets easier is because as the con goes on, you realize more and more, and I hate to say this, con goers, a lot of you do not clean yourselves. One, you smell, and then number two, a lot of you are sick. And actually, con flu is a thing because people will not take care of themselves and it sucks.
Especially the whole thing of when it's a 3-day convention and nobody wants to sleep for any of the days because they'll miss something.
Something? Yeah, and it's like, please, just go to sleep.
No sleep, no shower, no costume change.
So bad.
And every room is hot and stuffy. All right. There are exactly 0 titles that I actually recognize.
Ooh, sounds intense.
It is new games. No Dig Dug, TM, Gauntlet, TM.
Oh God,
Gauntlet, Street Fighter,
fuck Gauntlet.
TM. No Knights of the Round. Not even a hint of a pinball game.
Right.
I was starting to get concerned. Teo, where in Max are we?
This is the Indie Mega Arcade. Well, originally they called it the Indie Mega Arcade Expo, but then IMAX, TM, sued them.
The what? That didn't explain anything to me. It explained plenty to me, so that's okay.
Yeah, it made sense to me.
What are all these weird games? How do you not know what an indie game is? Liz has been so familiar with everything, including like game repair and knowing what the tube monitors are and various diodes and things, as well as having game history and older games and loving the shit out of games. And then going, I've never heard of an indie game. Plus, you said she's an indie game designer, and we didn't go, what's an indie game?
Right?
So what are we confused about here?
Right.
I understand nothing. So either you don't understand arcade, or you don't understand Max, or you don't understand indie.
If you hush those alluring lips of yours for a second, I'd be more than happy to explain.
Oh my God.
Hey, honey.
Okay, hushing now. Totally and completely hushed. What was that?
Now, where was I? Okay, I have to say,
Something
Teo,
about
that
my
sounded
face.
a little condescending.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, that was...
Objectifying.
No, it was just kind of like, God, you're just...
It was like, your mouth is moving. Could you just stop it?
Well, it was also that... No. That thing of going like, you're much hotter when you don't talk kind of thing. Does that make sense? Your alluring mouth will be so much easier if you just shut up. Like, that's what that reminded me of. That didn't hit right for me.
Okay, I could see that. It felt a little weird to me.
Yeah. Yes, the Indie Mega Arcade is a huge area of Max that showcases all the new and upcoming indie arcade games.
Right.
Indie developers get a chance to show off their stuff, get useful feedback, and maybe get a few people interested in their game along the way. That's the dream of the indie dev, to make a game that people enjoy playing.
Okay.
I am not speaking for the people who made this game at all, which honestly, I love the meta nod. It's cute.
Okay, so thing is, whatever Liz is confused about, why weren't they confused when it was, here's an indie game developer who's famous in the indie scene and has a new indie game they're releasing? Like, are we confused about the name indie, or are we confused about why they're all here together? I don't understand where the confusion is and why he's expositing this.
I feel like it's to make sure that people know what we're talking about, unfortunately.
Then Liz needed to be confused earlier.
I'm just gonna raise my hands and go, I don't know what to tell you. So
I really don't know much about the indie arcade scene, admittedly. Though I wasn't confused when you originally brought it up, I guess.
Honestly, some people assume. They really do. They go, okay.
Maybe I'm familiar with indie games, but not as an arcade? Like, the arcade part is confusing?
Yeah, it could. Well, like, I've seen indie games before, but I've never actually, like, seen indie games before, where you're like, I'm used to these being here, but then suddenly, like, here's all the physical games, and what I'm expecting is to walk into a normal arcade section, and then suddenly I'm walking through what looks like regular old arcade cabinets, and going, oh my God, what are these games? Where are we?
Right.
And him going, this is the indie arcade thing. You're going, what? I thought they were all digital or something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like having a physical copy?
Right, okay. But I just, like, I don't feel like it works very well.
It's fine.
My critique there, I feel like Liz should have been confused earlier.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Working at the Funplex offers me a crash course in arcade culture. Every day I'm learning about completely new aspects. Except you also seemed like you were familiar with arcades, and you seemed super comfortable at your job at an arcade, and you love arcades?
Yeah, I don't know.
It does make perfect sense to have an indie game scene. I just never realized that it existed. I knew there were indie games, but no scene for it, maybe.
Right? It's pretty amazing, actually. A community of people who share ideas and a passion. Can't afford mass production runs of games, but they got a lot of heart, you know?
They just buy old arcade cabinets, and they completely, program their own games into them.
Right? They can't crank out a box for every arcade on Earth, but indie developers are free to make whatever type of game they want.
Because they don't have to worry about money, suggesting.
Or that they don't have the limitations, basically, of higher up studio.
That's really what it is they don't have the limitations of someone going, I can't market that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is nice.
Yes. No pressure from a big name company, either.
Yep.
Complete and utter creative freedom. As long as your tiny team, even if it's just you and one other person, agree on what that looks like. Because you can run into some big problems with a 2-person team. As both of us have actually had an experience with a tiny team game that went on to become something bigger on this channel that we had issues with.
And we went,
and if y'all know what I'm talking about, good for you.
I was saying, but there's also an experience of it can be challenging to work with someone, though. Even Scandal and I have had some trouble deciding what direction to take things, which game to play, how to handle them. Sometimes we've dropped series because one of the other of us went, I just can't do this, or for whatever reason it just didn't work. But we do our best. I would say, but I appreciate the incredible nod here to them going, we could just do whatever we want, see? And this is what we wanted to do. On the other hand, I still feel like people aren't just doing whatever they want because they're still trying to think of whether or not it will sell.
And
they're trying to do whatever they want that they think will sell.
It's something that will sell, though I don't think it's always necessarily as much as that. I feel like it's really complex depending on the developer that you run into.
It also depends on what they're doing with it. Some people are like, this game is 100% free. I don't even have any place to donate or whatever. This is just the experience. I just wanted to make this thing. But bigger production games like this usually don't have that kind of freedom because it costs time and money to put into them.
And some people still go, hey, by the way, you could still put, like Doki Doki Literature Club, right? That game itself says you can download this for free, or you can, pass money. It would be really nice if you did, kind of thing. So, Well, really, anyone can make a game if you put your mind to it.
It's true.
In fact, I bet even you, Liz, can make an arcade game.
Is that what we're going to do? Design our own game and save the arcade?
I'm winking and nodding at the player here, but it doesn't work as well because we picked a stage name, so,
It's fine.
What say you?
Say me about what? My game. Oh, we're not even talking about the other game anymore. You're actually seriously just pitching. You could make your own. I have no idea if we've toyed with the idea.
I don't either.
Also, is that's neutral? I've toyed with the idea? Is that like when someone goes, God, I've always wanted to write a book. It's neutral if everyone goes, yeah, me too? Like,
I guess.
Especially
I guess if you're basically going, everybody in this world really likes arcades, and especially with Liz establishing going, I was really obsessed with arcades as a kid, that could work.
Because everyone's sort of like writing a novel. It's all like, oh, we've all considered writing a game. I guess.
I don't know. That's a good question. Okay, well, we are actually out of time, but we will deal with this one in the next one. So thank you very much, guys, though, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos if you're having a good time with us. It really helps us out. And also, please feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. We've got some links in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Liz.
And it was great playing with you. Bye!